have Brittany and Lauren with State Farm here today to talk about internships with you all. I want to remind you all before the end of the presentation, you'll need to receive credit. You'll have to scan out before the end of the presentation. So please help me in welcoming Brittany and Lauren.
My name's Lauren Gilbert. Like she said, I'm with State Farm. I'm an agent in the area. This is Brittany Barnes. She's also a State Farm agent. We just kind of wanted to talk to you today about our experience with internships, the opportunity with internships with State Farm, and then a little bit more specific what we have in our offices. Any questions that y'all have, please stop us. Anything that we can answer later if we need to, we can. Okay, so I graduated from East in Lake Charles in 2008 with an accounting degree. So accounting is what I thought that I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to do a CPA. I did an internship, I believe it was my junior year, with a CPA firm during tax season, and I quickly realized that is not what I wanted to do. So I don't know if any of you had that experience to where you get into a degree and then you quickly realize, what in the world am I going to do? I decided I don't want to do anything with accounting. I thought this was my whole career. I mean, I've been planning this for the last 4 years, and now I'm thinking, where am I going? So I feel like a lot of college students kind of have that happen to them. We get into it, but I'm here to tell you, just get your degree done. That's what most people are looking for. So with that being said, I was into senior year and trying to figure out, well, what do I want to do with my life? So I had a luncheon at East. It was for an insurance. Figured, might as well go to that, get some free lunch, see what they have to say about it. I don't know what I want to do with my life. So everything that they said really intrigued me. I loved everything that they said about the insurance, and I decided that I wanted to interview with them. So I interviewed with them. It wasn't State Farm, actually. It was Northwestern Mutual. And I decided that I was going to do something with them, maybe an internship. Well, they wanted me to start full-time. So I said, why not? So I went with them full-time. With them, there's straight commission. There's no salary, nothing like that. You're not so much with helping you find people. So I'm out doing a hot list of 100 names. Anybody that I know, my parents know, or anybody that I've ever talked to before that'll listen to me. So I'm doing a lot of appointments, going out to a lot of people's houses, doing everything, getting some sales, but it was just really slow for me. So then what happens? Now I'm at a crossroads again. What am I going to do with my life? I don't know if this is what I want to do. So I started thinking, okay, number one, money is not the huge thing for me. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm going to do in my life, I enjoy it. I want to go to work. I want to do this for the next 30 years. The money's going to come when you enjoy what you enjoy. So I started thinking, do I go back to school and maybe teach math? I love math. Do I stick this out? So that's at the point to where I started digging deep. My family, my grandmother and grandfather had a clothing store in Lake Charles that they ran for probably 30 years. Did part-time with them, and I got really close with them. After my grandfather passed away, my grandmother needed round-the-clock care. So I would stay with her 3 nights a week. We paid someone to stay the night with her, $160 a night. They basically slept there, made sure she got her medicine, made sure she ate. We also had a day crew that we had to pay. So that adds up really quickly. Fortunately for them, they had the business that they were able to sell right before all this happened, and they were using those funds. Funds were about to run out. So then the family's getting together and figuring out, okay, how much can you put in to be able to pay for mom's care? How much can grandkids put in? Who can pull together and figure out how we're going to pay for this? So it's really hard emotionally having to deal with it, but even more financially also. So I started thinking, okay, with this business that I'm doing now, they have long-term care insurance. It actually pays for those services. So I was thinking, okay, this is something that can be huge for my family. Why aren't people doing this? So I can actually take this experience, take this job experience and then turn it around. This could be something that I can actually get the word out. I can help families. This is something that I'm going to enjoy because I'm going to see that it's actually helping people. So I decided I'm going to stick this out. But I don't really want to stay at this particular place. So I did research, and I figured, okay, the two main places in our area, State Farm was one of them. All the research that I did, they blew everyone out of the water with financial ratings and an amount of products. And they had long-term care insurance. So this is what I'm going to do. How do I get into State Farm? I did a little filler job for a couple months, and at McNeese they had their career fair, just like what y'all have every semester. And I was doing my job, and I was actually having to go out of town for training. So I got my resume ready, got dressed, ready to head out. I'm going to this career fair solely to find State Farm's booth, because I got to get to this other training that I have, or I'm going to be late and then they'll want the job. So I went straight to him and I said, look, I have about 5 minutes to talk to you. Here's my resume. I'm only here because I want to be your next State Farm agent. So they were, okay, well, I guess we'll try to give you a call and we can set something up. So they did. Been with State Farm since 2009. I was a team member for about 4.5, 5 years. And then I decided I'm financially ready, and I feel like that I have the knowledge to be able to explain to my team members how to get everything done and being able to run an agency. So after that, I got into our internship with State Farm, and then I became an agent in Texas in March of 2015. So I'm licensed actually for Texas and Louisiana. So it's kind of my story of how I got into insurance. Never in one day before that ever thought I would do anything in insurance. About as much as I knew about it as I have my ID card for my car and I'm legal to drive on the road. That's about all I do. But it's great. I'll kind of let Brittany tell you her story of how she got into it.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. That is actually interesting because I've never heard her full story of how she's really gotten into the business, and so I appreciate that. Mine is quite different from hers. I'm from this area. I'm from Beaumont, Golden Triangle area. Went to Fort Neches for high school. I moved around to about 11 different schools growing up, and so like I said, we have moved around in this area. But I graduated from Fort Neches, came here to Lamar, was here for 5 years. My degree was psychology pre-med. Sorry, I just recently appointed as an agent last week, and it has been crazy. Crazy. Yeah, good crazy. But my mind is kind of all over the place, so you'll have to forgive me. Anyway, but so came here to Lamar, was here for 5 years, started as a biology pre-med major. Decided very quickly that biology was not really what I was interested in, because here at Lamar they focus the majority of their bio studies are on like environmental biology, not so much the human biology. I would have had to have done nursing and go that route. And so I really wanted to be a reconstructive plastic surgeon. I was highly involved here on campus, was a Lamar ambassador, was part of the McNair Scholars Program. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that program, but I did undergraduate research with Dr. Carter in the exercise science arena over there. And I was on set to go to medical school. I stayed here for 5 years just so that I could finish up my research. We were actually published in 2 different journals. And so everything was really great and good to go. Graduated with honors, went to take my MCAT, and just didn't do as well as I had hoped. And so through that, I became extremely discouraged, thinking, what in the world am I going to do? I'm going to have to, taking the MCAT again that's just what I'll have to do. I want to go to med school. I want to be a reconstructive plastic surgeon. I felt like that was what the Lord had called me to do. I really wanted to help people, to show them that there was life after tragedy. I wanted to do trauma patients, burn victims, children born with deformities, and things of that nature. And so, honestly, I really just wanted to love people and show them the love of Jesus. And so, if we're being completely honest, anyway, I went back to take my MCAT again, and kind of through that process, my grandmother actually, she broke her femur, and I had to stay at home and take care of her for about a year. And so it worked out because I was able to study again for the MCAT, and went to wake up for the MCAT, and I felt the Lord tell me, this is no longer what I have for you. And I was thinking, this is crazy. This is what I've been working for forever. This is what I've always desired to do, and this was my dream. And so anyway, went to take my MCAT the second time and did worse the second time than I did the first time, which is also just unheard of, especially, I mean, when I tell you I was like straight A student, to not do well on my MCAT was just, it was devastating. And so I began, talking to my husband and asking him, I just don't know where to go from here. All I've ever known is school. That's what I'm really good at. I love learning. I want to be a doctor. And so I just really began praying about it. And he had a cousin who was actually an agent aspirant for State Farm, and would always come over and was always talking about State Farm and just the opportunity that they had, and like how much great money that he could make, and all this kind of good stuff that sounded really great. But I was thinking, and he'd mentioned it to me once or twice before, you should really try State Farm, it's not what you think. And I was just, I finally said to him, Cody, why do you say that it's not what I think? It's insurance. It's irritating. It constantly goes up, and it's always changing, and it's required by law, and I felt like insurance people or insurance salesmen were just like car salesmen, and I was thinking the last thing that I am is a salesman. I hate to will and deal. Anytime somebody, like I'm going through the mall, and somebody comes to ask me a question, I just keep walking, I'm the person that gets a telemarketing phone call and hangs up, or, tells them to please take me off your list. No, I'm not interested. And so I was thinking there's no way that I could go into this profession. No way. Plus, making a good living for my family, that's nice, but that's really not what I'm about. I really just want to love people and serve them. And so, anyway, after praying about it, talking to my husband about it, I went and talked to one of the agents in our area in Beaumont, and, he offered me the position in the event that I passed my licensing tests. So I went and took my tests, was really just kind of the mindset, if this works out, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. I could just use a job right now. That's about it. It's hard to find a job with a psychology degree without a master's or anything, which, by the way, I come back here to get my master's in nutrition and dietetics, and knew that wasn't what I should be doing. So anyway, went to work for Troy, and I realized that this was incredibly different from what I had ever expected. Like, I got to love and serve people in so many ways that I could have never even imagined. Like she said, her grandmother and her family was faced with a really terrible situation, and we get to visit with people like that on a daily basis. And so not only do I get to be there to help people pick up the pieces after tragedy like I wanted to do as a surgeon, but I also get to help them prepare for the tragedy and make sure that they're living confidently, knowing that if something does happen, that they are protected, and that they can come to me and we can walk them through that whole process, and we can, I will be there with them. I want to grow with their family. I want to serve them. And of course, it does provide a good living for my family. And so I was able to really couple both of those things together, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And so I was at Troy's office as an agent aspirant for about a year and a half, and some crazy opportunities happened. It usually doesn't happen that quickly, but he was promoted back into the corporate side of State Farm, and his office became available, and so I was actually hired to take over his location. So I'm in Beaumont with Lauren. She's awesome. I'm thankful that she's there for me, but that's kind of where I came from. And like she said, coming from a psychology or a biology pre-med background, I would have never imagined myself in insurance. But it's really different than what a lot of perceptions portray it to be.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from this part of it is it's an internship. It's the easiest way for you to try something out. So with an internship, most of the people that you're going to work for know that this might be very short term. What other place would you like to go into? Telling your boss, oh, yes, I would love to be here for the next 10 years. And you quit on them in 3 months. This is a spot to where you can go and you can try it out. You can test it out. You can do multiple internships. And then when you're done, and everybody's still okay with it and on board. And a lot of your teachers, I believe, will do credits for certain internships. So I believe it's a win-win. She can talk a little bit more about the different opportunities that we have and kind of what we look for and what we want you to get out of our internship.
Absolutely. So I think from what we've gathered here at Lamar, there aren't, and you guys can correct me, are there any particular, are you guys all College of Business? Raise your hand if you're College of Business. All of you? Okay. The College of Business, from what I've gathered, doesn't require an internship, is that correct? In order to graduate? Yes. Okay. Cool. Y'all are so talkative today. Woo! Okay, so the College of Business, it doesn't require internships to graduate, but what I found is that they will accommodate internships if you bring them to certain professors. So, I would suggest going and talking to some of your professors and just asking them about an internship opportunity and what they would, I guess their open-mindedness about allowing you an internship to get credit for a particular class or subject. And so with that being said, here at State Farm, we have tried to develop our internship program to be 2 things. One is we want to increase the awareness around State Farm and the opportunity that we have here in our area on Lamar's campus. So we are willing to work with your professor and you to provide the experience that you guys are looking for in an internship within certain specifications, of course. We're not going to have you like going out shopping or doing things that are not associated with our business, of course. But we have different ways of, if you're a marketing major, if you are if you're doing entrepreneurial studies, for the different, I guess, what are they called? Not majors, but like a few focuses, I guess, for the different focuses, we can adjust the internship to make sure that you obtain the experience that your professor would like and then also that you would like. And so we have essentially an internship training and development plan, and it just goes through some different activities that perhaps are required by your professor, by the organization, and then different activities that you would like to get out of the program as well. And so we would, of course, want to just address those. Some of the things that you might be evaluated on would, did we do that sheet? No. Okay. Of course, quality of work, communication skills, written and verbal skills, punctuality, dependability, all of the general expectations that we would have for you. But whenever we really sit down to talk about what your particular internship looks like, then we would tailor that to your needs and your professor's needs specifically. So we have that, but then we also have what is called just an entrepreneurial internship activity specifically with State Farm, and it puts you through 4 different phases. And this 4-phase program will help you to determine whether or not State Farm is what you are interested in long-term, essentially. So it starts out with our basic phase internship, where, we're just trying to help you get daily accountability and measurement, outbound phone calls, customer conversations, perhaps some lead sheets completed, going out, and it doesn't require licensing. And so, going out and perhaps marketing with some of the apartment complexes or different people in our community, things of that nature. But then as you move through the phases, then it gets more specific to State Farm and our agent aspirant opportunity in those things moving forward. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions so far?
Just like she was saying, I feel like even if you don't know if you want to do insurance or you don't know if you want to be a business owner, the first part, our first 2 phases, can really be open to anybody. Now, our second part of it is going to be, maybe you've done the internship with us and you're wanting to stick with us part-time. So we're going to make sure that we're going to accommodate your schedule. We know you're in school. We obviously believe in getting your degree, so we're going to work with you. We're going to make your hours flexible, and this can be after you've done the internship and you want to stay with us to see, okay, I did enjoy that. Maybe do I want this to be my career? If it's not State Farm, maybe we can help you with whatever it is that you want to open a business. So it's open to anything. The next part of it, you will need to get licensed. So you've already been with us, you see something you enjoy, and now you're going to have to get your state license. Your property and casualty is going to be your first. Auto insurance, homeowners, renters, things like that. When you do pass the test, we will reimburse for everything. So we will help you with the cost of that if we see that you're going to be able to stay in our office. Also, after your license, you will have your hours that you're being able to get paid for. Now we've upped you on your pay. Now you're also going to be able to get your commissions. So your property and casualty, and we're going to be doing a lot with banking. So we do finance and vehicles, we do student credit cards, regular rewards credit cards, checking savings account. We're a full-blown bank with the insurance side. So it can be good for you as far as pay goes, and obviously we're going to be flexible to make sure that you can get your schooling in. After that, then you can go for your next license, which is going to be your life and health, life insurance, any kind of health insurance. So now you have another way to get commissions. Also at State Farm, the one sheet that I did hand out to y'all, this is more corporate specific. So we can kind of tailor that once you get into our office. But some things obviously that we want to be looking for, some things that you'll be doing with us. If you do decide that you want to be a business owner, again, it doesn't have to be State Farm, but you'll be helping us tracking team members' monthly goals. So something that you would have to do in your business to make sure that everybody's staying on track. Helping us with the office budget and projections. So if you're going to be a business owner, you're going to have a business plan ready. Obviously, you need that in there, or if you're going to be going to a bank and you don't have any of that, they're not going to help you fund your new business. Some other things that we'll be doing, again, just like she said, we'll be making phone calls, trying to bring in new business, and just learning general insurance products. This is an everyday thing once you're an adult, but you're going to have your insurance. We know we have to have the car insurance, the other will follow. So just having maybe a general understanding of that is going to help you in your everyday life moving forward. So I had an intern, she was wanting to do culinary. Now, I don't think that goes anywhere in State Farm, right? But I had her doing different things. She was helping me with event marketing, setting up on that, helping with the everyday clerical type things. But whenever we got done, I asked her, I said, be honest with me, do you feel like that you got anything out of this? She said, yes, I had no idea with anything on my car insurance. She said, I actually went back and read over my car insurance and changed stuff because of what I learned in here. So win for me. Other things that we want you to gain out of it, leadership skills and strong work ethic. I feel like the work ethic is the most important thing of anything that you do. If you have a strong work ethic, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you're passionate about, you're going to be able to achieve it and you're going to be able to do great at it. Training, again, we want to make sure that you know State Farm's vision. We've been #1 insurance for the last 50 years. We were founded in 1922. And what I think that you can get out of it. So State Farm agents and their team members, their mission is to help manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. Next part of it, kind of wanted to bring this up to another thing with State Farm. Has anybody ever heard of Fortune 500? Okay, so we know it's a big deal with companies out there. State Farm's number 35. So I was looking through and I was thinking, okay, how can they relate to that? What are some other companies that we maybe heard of? Disney, 53. Coca-Cola, 62. ConocoPhillips, 90. McDonald's, 109. And Facebook, 157. So we outrank all of those companies. So being able to have not only us being able to make sure that you get a good experience out of it, you have State Farm backing you. So whether this is something you want to do just part-time or this is something that you want to build throughout your career. So with that being said, the agent aspirant, once you've gone through all the phases and you say, this is what I want to do, I not only want to be a State Farm team member, I want to be the next State Farm agent. You don't have to be in Beaumont. You can go anywhere in the nation. So once you've worked with us, we help you develop your business plan. They're going to start sending you everywhere in the nation that is available. You choose that, you go interview it, we help you get there. So we're going to be there all along the way. I started 2009, I think I kind of started right off the bat with Agent Aspirant Program. Brittany did it for a year and a half. I was scared to death of that. I'm an extreme over planner with everything that I do. So I said I want 3 to 5 years. I was right at my 5-year mark and I said I'm ready to do this, and that's where I am. Obviously, like she said, there's perks of being a State Farm agent. Pay's not bad. Second part of it is you have flexibility. We are both women. We have children. We want, or not yet for her. I have 2 kids. I want to be able to go to my kids' events. I still need my office ran. Well, guess what? I have 4 people in my office that can do everything that I can do because I've already trained them. If I want to go to my kids' event, my office is still ran. Kind of different when you think about doctors and things like that. If they're not in the office, they might be not able to do that. My office is still going to be able to be ran. I can qualify for travel every year. So this year coming up, I'm going on a Baltic cruise. I can't pronounce half the places I'm going, but it seems cool. I qualified for it. State Farm's going to be able to pay that trip for me. Also, at the end of the year, you can qualify for different bonuses. Wide range of what your money can come from, but again, this is the type of business, whatever you put into it, you're going to get the most out of it. Talk about your aspirant experience if you'd like to.
Yeah, so exactly like she said, it's whatever you put in, you'll get out. Your salary, well, your commission, of course, is solely based upon your effort that you've put into building whatever you would like it. And so, like she said, it is a small business. It is yours. You have your own team members. They are your employees. They're not employees of State Farm. They're employees of my employees or employees of Brittany Barnes State Farm in Beaumont. And you know, they like the flexible hours as well. And so it's nice because I have the ability to help my team members be able to, you know, I've got a couple of women in my office. They also have children, and they don't have to work on Saturdays or nights or, you know, different things like that, just because those are the hours that we've chosen for our office. So she does agent aspirant program. So whenever I went to see Troy, like I said, most agent aspirants don't go through the program that quickly. Now I kind of understand why. Yeah, it's kind of like a whew. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But what I want you to understand is that, like she said, you don't have to be interested in insurance to get something out of this. Because right now, where I'm at in the building of my business, I'm looking at reports. I'm trying to figure out compensation schedules. I am, you know, doing event marketing and other types of marketing, developing a marketing budget, trying to figure out whether my marketing dollars are they are producing me policies, whether they are like my return on investment. So whether you're going into insurance or whether your desire is to open up some other type of business, or whether it's marketing or culinary or whatever it is beneficial to come into a place, or to really, I guess depending on who it is, but into a small business and see how they're growing that business and how they're planning and how they're tracking and how they are holding team meetings. What are they talking about? Because once you get in there, shoot, if you don't have a plan, your ship is going to sink real quickly, and that's what a lot of our, you know, not a lot, but a couple of our agent interns find very, very, very quickly, and if they don't adjust, then they have problems. And so, anyway, it is something that can be beneficial for everyone. Me going through that process, like I said, again, is not usually that quickly, but it was, I felt like, very beneficial for me because the agent that I was working with was willing to open up the doors and really help me to see everything that was going on in the business and how he was running that business. So that was extremely beneficial. So when you're talking to agents and even when you're looking for internship opportunities, I would encourage you guys to ask a lot of questions. Ask, what kind of experiences will I get? How open will you be? What are some things that I would learn? Hey, this is my interest. How can I incorporate that? How can I help you grow your business in this way? Because this is what I'm interested in and it will help me gain more experience in X, Y, and Z. So be proactive about that. Another benefit of State Farm and our internship is that it is paid. I know a lot of internships in college are not, and so that is something to consider as well. But like I said, the agent aspirant program, it's a astounding program in the event that you do want to become a future State Farm agent. So like I mentioned, I did the McNair Scholars Program, and I was blown away by the fact that a professor literally took me under his wing and told me and walked me through every single step of the research process. So much so that he helped me get published. And that's something that's very difficult to do, especially because it takes so much time and effort that he had to take out of his own family and out of his own classes to do. And essentially that's what a State Farm agent does for their agent aspirant, is they take you under their wing and they teach you from the very beginning. They reimburse you for everything. They help you get to where you want to be. Now, of course, there's an expectation that you put back effort into our agencies as well, and you give it your all and your best. But as long as you are going full force, then I can guarantee there's nothing that we wouldn't do to try and help you achieve your own goals, for sure. I love all of the agents in our area, but make sure when you're talking to them, ask questions. Not all agents are as involved as others, and that's something that you want to keep in mind as well. So just any questions that you have, we're so grateful to answer those. Any interest or anything like that you have, please let us know, and we'll be happy to help.
We do have our phone numbers on the sheet that you have on the back, but we'd love to have you come talk to us. If you are the slightest bit interested, please come to us and give us your phone number. We can give you a call later, kind of talk to you a little bit more about what we have available. But we'd love to try to help you. We talk with the professors. We have everything that's needed for you to get your credit. So we'll just, again, talk with your specific professor and make sure that everything that we have in place, you do get the credit out of it. Any questions on anything? Are y'all in here that you are thinking on getting an internship? Raise your hand if you're actually wanting to get an internship. Okay. So I'd like y'all to come and talk with us. We can talk to you a little bit more, get your phone number. If y'all need to leave for anything, then we can give you a call and talk to you a little bit more about it. We do have some other things if y'all want to grab a little bit more specific on State Farm. Take that, feel free, and just give us a call if you change